Hey y'all, welcome back to the OVO show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Orange Bloods Texas football YouTube channel. Ovie, how was your first full week of practice?
It was good. It was good. Again, just being out there with the squad again, learning together, growing together. It was good.
And
Good.
pads were on.
One more time.
Pads were on this week though, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
And tell me about obviously there's an obvious difference in pass on, pass off, yes, but just the way things do change when the pads do come on.
I just feel like it's just a different energy, especially on the first day.
Right.
We're ready to get back in the pads again. We haven't been in the pads since December, November. So it just brings like a whole new energy, a whole new element to practice. And of course, it gets tiring because it's the first day and those pads really weigh you down. But I just feel like it brought a new energy, a different energy to practices.
Right.
I was just excited, ready to hit.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel it. So I know last interview we talked about you working with both linebackers and edge, correct?
You're right.
The edges.
The
I don't even know
edges.
what the edges. The edges. Okay, you work with both linebackers and edge.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the difference between just doing like edge work and going and doing like linebacker work. Just help me understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, so just playing edge is really just like, you're kind of like a weak side defensive end. You're on the D line, and it's pretty much like the position, like you're on the edge of the defensive line. Mm-hmm. And with that, I like our defense because playing that position gives me like a ability to unlock all different types of tools, things needed, like as far as pass coverage, rushing the passer, and then setting the edge on a run, being able to get to the ball around the corner. And then playing linebacker is more like off the ball. I'm more in coverage. I'm more working a lot with the DBs and the outside backer to the middle backer. And it's just like for me, I just feel like it's a more like thought process. I'm more making sure that everybody's on the same page. And I think the benefit of playing both positions is that I feel like you kind of bring tool sets from both positions to add on. And I really like it. I love the way our defense is, puts me in the loop of things and, ability to use my abilities to the best of the defense. So.
And yeah. What do you feel like your strength is being an edge?
As far as just the position goes, I just feel like I'm a lot more agile on the edge than, of course, offensive tackles, as well as, a lot of tight ends too.
Right.
But at the same time, I still bring a lot of strength and power, and then just overall just smartness and IQ of the game, knowing what's coming at me, ability to, understand plays before they happen. And I just think that that's like a big advantage to, what I bring to the position.
How do you develop that IQ?
A lot of film, a lot of repetition, a lot of messing up. And, from there, if you continue to have the confidence that, you will get better, and just watching this film and, making those mistakes and learning from them, then that's how you develop that IQ. That's how you develop that feel for the game, the ability to just slow the game down and understand what's coming at you, what you have to do, what technique calls for what play, things like that. So I just feel like the benefit of me staying another year, as far as choosing not to declare for last year's draft, just gave me the opportunity to just soak into the defense even more and to increase that football IQ, so that come fall, not only me, but my defense is ready to, go out and compete the way we know we can. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know last time you talked about just last year, there were just holes in the defense. So you're just really excited about the defense this year. Tell me about those holes in the defense last year. What were they? Who were they? How? Can you explain a little bit more?
I just felt like the first thing was communication, and that's a big thing on our team, offense and defense, is just communication off the field, communication from coaches to players, players to players, coaches to coaches. And I felt part of that might just be, new year under a new staff. So I just felt like, the communication wasn't there from player to coach, because that's all I can,
Right.
So player to coach and also player to player. And the problem with that is that when you don't have that communication, like it shows on the field where, okay, if I don't communicate with my safety and I don't take the out and he thinks that I'm taking the out, then they throw it out and they go all the way down. So and that's part of the things that was happening. Like there was games where I felt that, we were communicating, but those games that we lost at the end in the fourth quarter, communication was off. Somebody was at their gap. I over pursued or things like that. And I think just what makes it really good about this year is that the coaching staff, as well as the leaders of the team have came to a realization that that was a big issue for us on offense and defense. And this spring, we're really taking our time, understanding this is why things happen. This is why my linebacker is here as opposed to right here. This is why you have to do this technique. And it really slows the game down, and it really helps us, build that IQ that I was talking about, and to know why things are happening.
And do you think that lack of communication from last year bled just negativity into the locker room a little bit? People aren't doing their job at the end of the day.
I think the lack of communication, I think what really messed the locker room, or I wouldn't say the locker room was messed up, but I felt like what really negative.
Oh no, you said it is fine.
what really negatively impacted the locker room was just losing. And I feel like we didn't understand that how communication is actually the reason why, one of the main reasons why, we lost games. And I think for us realizing that, okay, this is something that's, helping us lose games, that was really what got into the locker room.
Right. And sometimes when you're just in it and you're just on the train downhill, you just can't do nothing about it at that point. It's you keep wanting to turn it around, but it's just not turning no matter what you do, because everybody's just worrying about what is going on outside of that locker room. It's dang, well, we losing. So I'm not about to hear what you're going to say once we go back in the locker room because we're losing. So, okay, it makes sense.
I think just communication. And I think that's what, one of the first things that when we got back for winter workouts that, we made an emphasis of is communication, how we communicate with each other, how we communicate from a coach to player standpoint. And we're seeing those same trainings happening in our spring practice as well.
What do you think the importance of spring practice is?
To learn. I think it is just to learn and grow. And also just, again, build that chemistry with your squad early, having a feel for the pads, earlier before fall camp, just being able to evaluate yourself, knowing that we don't play anybody. There's no opponents during spring practice. We only compete against each other. So it really gives you a time to really think individually as well. Okay, I have 15 practices now. I think we already practiced 4 times. I think we have 11 left now. Mm-hmm. So now it's okay, I got 11 practices to get better every day. I'm not going against anybody. There's no pressure of an opponent or anything like that. It's truly just okay, how can I individually do my part to help the squad? And that's what I think spring practice is for. Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here first. A whole bunch of learning going on during spring.
A lot.
Practice. A lot of just reevaluating, looking at the field, looking at what you got and working with it, and hopefully carrying that into fall games.
That's the plan.
All right. Well, y'all heard it here first. It's the OVO show. Don't forget to comment, and subscribe.